Hello, hello. Thank you so much for tuning into this ASMR soft spoken video. I want to first apologize that it's been a little bit, and I also want to thank you guys so much for all the comments, and then also for 1,000 subscribers, which is incredible, so thank you. Today we're going to be doing an unsolved case. So we're going to be talking about Taylor Robinson. Taylor was born to mother Carmelia Robinson. She grew up in Akron, Ohio, which was described as a racially diverse city made up of small suburbs. Taylor was described as a very kind and pleasant child. Her and her mother were very close, and they would just sit around and talk. Her mother describes her as not only being her daughter, but her friend. She was very athletic and involved in as many sports as she could. She played volleyball, softball, ran track, and even played football when she was little. She was friends with everyone. If someone was getting bullied, she would be right there supporting them and being their friend. After graduation, Taylor was accepted into Kent State University. In the fall of 2012, Taylor completed her first semester at Kent State University with the hopes to pursue a degree in neonatal nursing. She also worked with adults and children on the MRDD unit. This is a focus with people with mental disabilities. She was very dedicated to helping others. Despite her busy schedule, she maintained her focus on giving back to her community through her church. She helped out at Sunday school, daycare. So in 2013, Taylor's 19 years old. She's living with her mother and stepfather, Jeff Rucker. On May 3rd, 2013, the morning starts normally as Taylor spends a day at home doing schoolwork, and in the evening her mother drives her to her job, which they did every day. She was going to take care of a MRDD child overnight. The mother of the child worked during the night and needed the care. So at 10 p.m., Taylor's mother drops her off at the residence and watches as Taylor goes up the stairs. At 7 a.m. the next morning on May 4th, the mother of the child returns from work. She discovers that her daughter had been left alone all night, and Taylor is not there. 15 minutes later, Taylor's mother arrives to pick her up. Carmelia is stunned when the mother told her that Taylor had apparently left in the middle of her shift and had not returned. Upon discovering that Taylor is not there, her mother begins calling her, and it goes straight to voicemail. Very quickly, she's extremely worried and begins calling friends and family, and no one had seen or talked to her since. It's also discovered that Taylor had left her shoes and coat at the home where she was working, which meant that she had disappeared barefoot. This is extremely bizarre because she took her job very seriously and would have not left the child that she was caring for. Her family calls the police to report her missing. Carmelia told investigators that Taylor was the kind of teen who never gave anyone problems. She still lived at home, always obeyed her curfew, and was completely dedicated to her studies. Unless she was at class or work, you can almost find her always at home studying. She wasn't the kind of person who would throw away everything on a whim. After talking with Taylor's relatives and close friends, investigators quickly determined that Taylor's disappearance was completely out of character for her and was not likely voluntary. The fact that she had left the home of her client without her shoes and coat was especially concerning to police, and it indicated that she likely hadn't planned on leaving. Investigators combed through the home where Taylor was last seen and found no evidence of foul play. There were no signs of forced entry, leading them to believe that Taylor had either opened the door and let someone inside, or had been somehow lured outside and then forcibly abducted as soon as she came out the front door. Police then looked through Taylor's phone records. 2 phone calls were made to someone at approximately 10:03 p.m. and 10:13 p.m. the evening she disappeared. The phone numbers trace back to her ex-boyfriend. Police bring him in for questioning, and he immediately lawyers up and refuses to cooperate in the investigation. Police were able to get a search warrant for his car, but found no relative evidence. And this is sketch. Police also discover through the phone records that the morning of her disappearance, at about 5 a.m., a text is sent from her phone that contains a vague reference seeking a favor from a friend, but the friend doesn't respond. And then at 7:30, her phone is shut off and never turned on again. Taylor's stepfather, Jeff, had lost his 17-year-old son to gun violence in 2006. He took to the news about the disappearance, telling reporters there's no way he could handle losing another child, and determined to find her. Jeff creates a huge search effort, which is joined by dozens of Taylor's friends, classmates, and just some people in the community to search the surrounding area where Taylor was last seen. Police also launch search parties. Her family holds vigils, creates Facebook pages, and plasters over 500 missing posters all over the community. Her family and friends are doing anything they can to find answers. By Monday, detectives are no closer to determining what happened, but remain certain that she was abducted. They ask for assistance from the FBI, and they combed through Taylor's social media accounts and found nothing suggesting any kind of involvement in anything. They only confirmed that she was generally a good teenager who lived to help others. A week after her disappearance, nearly 40 police officers, detectives, and FBI agents combed through garages and vacant homes near the house where Taylor had last been seen and find nothing. On May 18th, more than 200 people attended a rally at the Summit Lake Community Center in Akron, where they prayed for Taylor's safe return. The mayor, several police, and a councilman were among those in the crowd, and Akron officials pledged to keep Taylor's case a priority. A month goes by with no answers. Camelia starts looking through social media, trying to find any information. She finds really disturbing messages stating that Taylor's body was found behind a grocery store. This turns out to just be rumors, which is so agonizing for her family. 2 more months pass with no leads. Then, on July 24th, 2013, there was a discovery of 3 young women's bodies found in East Cleveland. All her mother remembers is hoping she isn't identified as one of the bodies. It's discovered that none are identified as Taylor, and the family is left again with no answers. 10 days later, Camelia gets a phone call from Private Investigator Tim Dimoff, who used to work for the Akron Police Department. He has continued to follow the case closely and volunteers to help in the case. His theory is that she knew the person who came to the door. She was okay with potentially letting this person in at night, which indicated that she trusted them and potentially knew them for a long time. He says the person may have intended to harm her and something happened to her in the home. He believes this person had a previous relationship with Taylor or wanted to have a relationship with her. On September 9th, 2013, 4 months after her disappearance, 2 hikers in a nearby Chahuga National Park discover a human jawbone in a heavily wooded area. They report it to the park rangers, who call the Akron Police. The FBI evidence response team is then brought in to help. They discover more bones in the area and the remains of what appears to be a bra. On Wednesday afternoon, dental records confirm the remains found are that of Taylor. Taylor's remains were fully skeletonized and had most likely been placed in the woods the same day she went missing. Due to the condition of the remains, determining an exact cause of death was impossible, but investigators were certain they were dealing with a homicide. The remains were sent to an anthropologist at Mercyhurst University in the hopes that she might be able to shed some light on how Taylor died. But but the cause remained unclear. This is the fact that deeply disturbed her mother, thinking her daughter was out there in the park for this long. On September 21st, 2013, hundreds of people gathered at Akron's Mount Calvary Baptist Church to say goodbye to Taylor in honor of the teenager who was taken too soon. Most of the people wore purple, which was her favorite color. Her mother is this extremely strong woman for dealing with such heartbreak. She says she went on to accept what she could not change and was grateful for what she did while she was here. Due to where her body was discovered in a heavily wooded area, Investigator Tim Dimoff strongly believes multiple people were involved and that many people know what happened to her on that night. This meant there were likely people in Akron area who knew where Taylor was, but are refusing to come forward and tell police any information. He is also convinced that there are two primary suspects who he says fits the profile and was discovered to have violent past towards women. Still, years pass with no developments and no arrests have been made. In January 2020, Akron Police announced that they were taking a fresh look at the case. They stated that they had ruled out both a stranger abduction and a botched robbery. They believe that Taylor definitely knew her killer. In May of 2021, investigators announced that they were offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for Taylor's murder. As of July 2022, the reward remains unclaimed, but police and Taylor's loved ones continue to hope that someone will finally provide police with the information needed to obtain justice for Taylor. If you have any information about Taylor, you can contact the Akron Police Department at 330-375-2552 or directly contact Private Investigator Tim Dimoff at 330-255-1101, extension 303. This case really comes down to someone saying something, and that is so heartbreaking for a family to know the answers are out there, but still just not having those answers. What also upsets me is I had never heard of this case, this young 19-year-old, and I just think this case and cases like this deserve such more attention and light. So thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you're having a good day or night wherever you are, and that you have a good day tomorrow because you deserve it. And I'm gonna see you in my next video.